As always, please like, subscribe, and comment. We really appreciate knowing what's resonating with you, and don't be afraid to make suggestions for future episodes.
Hello, and welcome to the August 2025 episode of The Automation Loop, the show that brings you the inside scoop of what's going on here at NTC. We're your hosts, Tim.
And Tim, this month we're talking about blogs. All the blogs. Well, maybe not all the blogs, but at least some of the blogs. Well, even more specifically, 2 blogs about AI written by folks here at NTC. Now let's get into it.
Replit is a software development platform that takes you from idea to software fast. It's a virtual environment or a container that has all of the tools, services, and packages that make development simple.
Replit is also an amazing tool if you're looking to have an unscheduled delete of your database. If you didn't hear the news story, which you probably did, from a few weeks ago, let's take a deep dive into that for just a minute, because today's topic is all about AI, and well, there's nothing better to talk about AI than its unpredictability.
Yeah, Tim, this builds on the vibe coding topic that we talked a little bit about last month, where you use a AI to help you code and get code done quicker. Well, this user, Jason Lemkin, had a bit of a different experience with vibe coding. A bit shocking. I'll just say that. It's a bit shocking what happened here.
First of all, I'm curious why Replit decided to make their AI respond in human terminology, like thinking things like, the AI says, I panicked. What? How?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about a panicky AI. I didn't know that was a thing, but now we know it is a thing. AIs can panic.
So if you happen to watch our last month's video, we talked about how AI can be unpredictable. And this is, wow, a whole nother level of unpredictability. Even explicitly ignoring instructions given by the prompts. For example, no changes without permission.
When it comes to non-deterministic behavior, this definitely qualifies. Deleting a production database, erasing months of work irreversibly, that is an example of non-deterministic behavior that you do not expect. Just wow on this one.
In one of our bonus content videos, we did a little dive into how LLMs work. And that is one of the intentions of the LLM, is that we intentionally deviate from expected behavior occasionally to make it seem more human. But this has gone, we went too far the other way.
Tim, this is timely for another reason as well. I'm writing a blog series about AI adoption, and the blog series examines how AI might be adopted by examining the pattern of how network automation got adopted. And one of the topics I cover in part 3 of the blog is culture, and part of culture is trust. You have to trust the technology to do what it's built to do. This is an example of an AI losing trust with its users. The fact that an AI can do that, huge obstacle. Can you imagine an executive in a company or management in a company in general saying, yes, we want to have AI do all this important work for us, and hopefully it doesn't do this?
For example, we've been talking about, Nautobot GPT and using AI for network automation. Can you imagine if you were using such an AI as this, and we deployed a change via the AI, and instead of deploying that change correctly, it completely wiped all the configurations off of our routers and switches? It's essentially what it did, right? Only from a database.
Yeah, this hits on a lot of things. Trust, which is a cultural component. It also hits on the non-deterministic behavior we talked about earlier. And as I've worked with AIs, as I'm starting to work with them more and more, especially the LLMs, it's more and more like working with a 4-year-old. Okay, AI, do this thing. Okay, got it. I've done it. Wait, are you sure? No, I'm not sure. Because I told you to do it this one way. And the AI says, yeah, I just didn't. You're right to call me out. I'll do better in the future. My kids say that to me all the time. And now the AI says that to me.
So yeah, it's a 4-year-old with a incredibly large vocabulary, vast amount of knowledge, but very low intellectual or emotional level.
Yeah, this is definitely one for the books. I'm still shocked by this, and I have a feeling it's not going to be the first time we hear a story like this.
hoping to the AI gods that this doesn't happen on your network or your IT environment.
And to just expand on the trust component, the users must trust that the technology is going to do what it was built to do, and also trust that it's not going to do something devastating like this. Trust is a big component.
So one of our colleagues, Josh Vander here at NTC, recently published a blog post on June 28th called Fueling Network AI, the Critical Role of Source of Truth Data. And I know, Tim, you had some comments about this and things we wanted to discuss. So what were your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, I really like this blog. I encourage everyone to read it. What really stuck out to me when I was reading the blog was how the source of truth ties into what Josh is saying. And that's really one of the points of his blog. An AI for network related tasks, an AI requires a comprehensive view of the network. This happens to be exactly what a source of truth is. It's a comprehensive, holistic view of the network. That also, when you're using Nautobot, Nautobot also validates the data along the way. So not only is it a comprehensive view of the network, it's a validated view of the network. And when you have this comprehensive view, what I really like what Josh says here, when you have this comprehensive view of the network, this helps prevent the AI from having to guess or infer. And Tim, we've just talked about what can happen when an AI is called upon to guess or infer. Production databases get deleted and you lose months of work. And I'm being a bit cheeky about that, but it is true that you do not want to put an AI in a situation where it has to make these guesses or inferences, because those of us who've worked with AIs know that an AI will make things up if it needs to.
Yeah, I think highlighting this idea that the AI is only as good as the data that we feed into it. It isn't magic, right? It needs to have guardrails put around it. And a lot of that comes from giving it good, clean data to start working from.
Yep. And this is a point I also call out in part one of my blog series, where I talk about AI adoption by examining the adoption of network automation. I think part one calls out the need for good data to train your AI on. Josh is also building on that same concept here in this blog.
Great segue, Tim. Let's give a little thought to your blog post that was recently published as well. Yeah, kind of, what were the overall thoughts as you were thinking of this series that you wrote? I think you said it ended up becoming a three-part series as you developed it. So give us your thoughts there.
Yeah, it became a three-part series. The first part talks about the data component. Network source of truth is a great source of data. And what needs good data? AI. So this is part of what I discussed in the blog, is that good data is foundational for a lot of technological advances. One of them is network automation. The other one is AI. So good data is foundational for a lot of strategic initiatives.
I feel like for most of my career, this is the message that I've been trying to promote and to preach, if you will, this idea that we have to have good, clean data to drive our networks from, and we need to use our data to actually operate our networks, not think of it as documentation. I feel like a broken record. I keep saying this over and over again, because we don't do documentation. It's just not a thing. So we have to use data as the way we actually operate the network, not just document the network. And when we do that, that means we will have good, clean data.
And what I also talk about in my blog, and I think it's part two now. Again, this blog is getting away from me as I keep writing it. But like network automation, AI, it's not always clear what it looks like to have AI. And that's the exact same situation a lot of companies are in when they talk about, do we have network automation? What it is really matters. And it's oftentimes tricky to figure out what it is. Do we have it? That's where professional help can come in. So one of the points I make in the blog is, it's not just enough to say we need AI or we need network automation. In order to do it properly, you need to have a well thought out, a comprehensive architecture in which to implement it, both for network automation and for AI.
We'd love to hear your thoughts about AI-related topics, challenges, and victories. How do you envision using AI, if at all? Drop us a comment, share your insights, or reach out to the NTC community forums.
Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode, and check out the show notes for links to everything we discussed.
And don't forget to check out our latest blogs and webinars. Until next time, keep automating, keep iterating, and stay curious.